Alam mo ba na ang DWDD 1134 kHz AFP radio ay ang opisyal na radio station ng sandatahang lakas ng Pilipinas na binubuo ng Army, Navy at Air Force na siyang maghahatid sa inyo ng mga balita mula sa ating Armed Forces at iba pang impormasyon. Mga katropa, hanapin at ilike kami sa Facebook, Twitter at YouTube. DWDD AFP Radio, ang boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.
Alamin ang mga mainit na balita mula sa ating Armed Forces. Tumutok sa 1134 kHz AM sa inyong mga radyo. At manood online. I-like at i-share ang AFP Radio DWDD Facebook page. Ito ang DWDD Armed Forces Radio, ang boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Mga katropa, para lagi kang updated sa inyong sandatahang lakas ng Pilipinas, siguraduhin naka-like at follow ka sa AFP Radio DWDD Facebook page at nakatune in sa 1134 kHz AFP DWDD. Panoorin ang weekly documentary program ng AFP Radio na Ang Inyong Kawal, Sabado alas 8 ng gabi. Simulcast po ito sa inyong Kawal Facebook at YouTube channel. And keep up the good work sa team. Ayan, Media and Civil Affairs Group, CRS-AFP, maraming salamat po sa inyo.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Good day everyone, as well to our troops at Camp Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City. Today is Tuesday, April 23, and we will bring you the latest news from the Armed Forces and other information around the Philippines. I am Rofh Suzon for AFP Community News.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Happy listening to our listeners at 1134 kHz AM radio, and also happy viewing to our audience in our Facebook page AFP Radio DWDD.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And here are the headlines for our top stories. BIFF top leader and 11 others killed in clash in Maguindanao del Sur.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Philippine-US Balikatan adapts to contemporary security challenges.
DWDD National News.
LTO assures strict implementation of AO versus unauthorized usage of sirens and blinkers.
DWDD National News.
And PBBM plans to extend EDSA bus carousel route.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For brief overview of our stories, the highest-ranking leader of the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters Karyalan faction, along with 11 followers, was killed in a military operation in Barangay Kitango, Datu, Saudi Patuan, Maguindanao del Sur yesterday morning. Brigadier General Jose Vladimir Cagara, the commander of the 1st Brigade Combat Team, identified the two of the slain, Mohiden Animbang alias Karialan, the chairperson of BIFFKF, and Saga Animbang, the operation chief of BIFFKF. He added that the troops also seized 12 high-powered firearms from them. According to Major Ja Alex Reliera, Philippine Army, the commander of the 6th Infantry Division and Joint Task Force Central, the efforts were made by the military, together with the MILF and the government, to convince Karyalan's group to surrender, but they refused and resulted to a clash to the said area.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Amidst the ongoing 2024 Balikatan exercises, attention shifts to the maritime domain with a highly anticipated Maritime Strike live fire exercise showcasing the cutting-edge capabilities of both Philippine and U.S. military assets. Set for May 8 in Ilocos Norte, this exercise will feature an impressive array of equipment and technologies from both nations. The AFP will display its capabilities with a variety of assets, including guided missile frigates, attack ram armed with surface-to-surface missiles, and advanced aircraft like the FA-50PH light jet fighters and A-29B Super Tucano close air support aircraft. Similarly, the U.S. military will demonstrate its maritime prowess with deployments such as the AZ-130 gunship, P-8 Poseidon maritime patrol and reconnaissance aircraft, and MQ-1 Predator remotely piloted aircraft. Beyond showcasing the firepower, this exercise highlights the strong partnership between the Philippines and the U.S. in safeguarding regional security and stability.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
Providing the first-hand information, our correspondent joins us from La Union with the latest update regarding the Balikatan exercise humanitarian civic action activities underway in La Union. Go on for the details, Suzon Sagaok.
The 39th iterations of the Balikatan exercises 2024 not only focus on military training but also on humanitarian civic action activities. Community services provided by the Philippine and U.S. Armed Forces are currently underway in the province of La Union. As part of the Balikatan exercises, the United States Armed Forces and the Armed Forces of the Philippines conducted a two-day medical and dental mission in partnership with the city government of San Fernando in La Union, held at La Union National High School on April 12 to 13, 2024. Free medical checkups, medicines, and dental services, including fluoride treatment and tooth extractions, were provided to a total of 255 patients from Barangay 3, Katropang, Sevilla, and Ilocano Sur. The remaining medicines from the mission were donated to the City Health Office along with a dental chair. Also, the Civil Military Engagement Group of Balikatan 2024 distributed a total of 30 information and communication technology equipment to San Agustin Elementary School on April 13, 2024, which included 11 laptops, 11 optical mouse, 4 smart TVs with brackets, and 4 printers with ink. A health symposium was also organized by the United States Armed Forces and the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the City Health Office of San Fernando at La Union National High School on April 14, 2024. The symposium aimed to share knowledge about common diseases in the community. It was attended by barangay health workers, child development workers, and personnel from the San Fernando Police Station. The city government of San Fernando La Union stated to strengthen its partnership with various organizations to improve the lives of its residents. The AFP and the U.S. Civil Military Operations Task Force have been carrying out humanitarian civic action assistance activities in 5 locations in the western and northern parts of the country since late March 2024. These projects are expected to be completed by the end of exercises with a focus on building and improving local infrastructure, sharing medical expertise, and strengthening ties with local communities. This is Joanne Sagao reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Suzon Sagaok.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Balikatan exercise between the Philippines and the United States is set to make history this year with unprecedented participation of over 100 troops from the French Navy. For the first time, the French Navy will take part in various activities, including the field training exercise and at-sea events, marking a significant milestone in the exercise's history. In addition to the French contingent, 150 personnel from the Australian Defense Force will also support the field training exercise and humanitarian civic assistance activities. The training will be conducted across areas under the jurisdiction of the Northern Luzon Command, Western Command, and Southern Luzon Command.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines highlights the distinctive approach of this year's Balikatan exercise, with the United States focusing on various aspects of modern security challenges. AFP spokesperson Colonel Francel Margaret Padilla emphasized the exercise's evolution, addressing external defense operations, cyber defense, counterterrorism, humanitarian assistance and disaster response, and interagency capacity building. She noted the increasing complexity of each Balikatan, evolving from tactical to operational war scenarios, showcasing the Philippines' combat readiness and interoperability with treaty allies. Running from April 22 to May 10, this year's Balikatan exercises will feature the sinking of an enemy warship off the coast of Lawag, Ilocos Province, replicating a maritime strike scenario.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
Let us hear more updates outside our station. Let us hear from Gio about 8 IB facilitates the surrender of 6 CTG members in Bukidnon seized high-powered firearms.
Department of Social Welfare and Development and the Zamboanga del Sur.
Yes, Rofh, 8th Infantry Battalion facilitated the surrender of 6 members of the communist terrorist group in Impasugong, Bukidnon. According to 8 IB, the surrenders was led by the squad leader Alaw Namolantao Lagaulao and yielded 3 AK-47 rifles and 1 M1 carbine rifle, citing dissatisfaction with leadership and lack of support. This success followed a series of recent accomplishments, including the rescue of a minor CTG member and the surrender of 7 others earlier this month. Additionally, troops discovered arms caches in various locations, resulting in the capture of high-powered firearms. On the other hand, 4th Infantry Division Commander Major General Jose Maria Arcuerpo II commended the troops for their dedication in pursuing CTG remnants and facilitating peaceful negotiations. This is Gio reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Provincial government extended assistance to former
Thank you, Gio.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines is bracing for the possibility of Chinese presence in certain areas where activities for the Balikatan exercises will take place this year. This was revealed by Balikatan Exercises Director for the Philippines, Major General Marvin Licodine, during a press briefing at Camp Aguinaldo following the official opening of the military exercises. According to him, they cannot confirm yet the alleged presence of 2 Chinese maritime militia vessels located 30 nautical miles from the coastline of Palawan, as reported by American maritime expert Ray Powell. Nevertheless, they anticipate the possibility of Chinese presence, especially considering the reported construction of structures in the area. The official also pointed out that Chinese maritime militia vessels are often seen in the West Philippine Sea, particularly since the territorial conflict between the Philippines and China escalated in the region.
DWDD
For our national news, Land Transportation Office Chief Assistant Secretary Vigor Mendoza II directed all his regional directors to coordinate with different government agencies in their respective areas to implement the mandatory removal of sirens, blinkers, and similar devices to unauthorized vehicles. This effort is in accordance with the Administrative Order 18 issued by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. According to Mendoza, the LTO has been receiving complaints, especially from netizens, regarding the allegations of abuses committed by vehicles with sirens and blinkers. Under Section 2 of AO 18, only vehicles designated for the officers of Armed Forces of the Philippines, National Bureau of Investigation, and Philippine National Police, as well as fire trucks, ambulances, and other emergency transportations are allowed to use the said devices.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
We are joined now by our field reporter who has been following the situation closely about BIFF members' surrender, marks progress in counterinsurgency efforts in Maguindanao del Sur. Go on for the details, Beth.
The surrender of 2 members of the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters and ongoing military operation in Maguindanao del Sur signaled a significant development in the region counterinsurgency effort. Western Mindanao Command Commander Lieutenant General William Gonzales of the disclosed that the surrender occurred as a result of relentless military operations against the BIFF. The surrendered individuals belonging to the BIFF Bugus faction handed over firearms, indicating their willingness to abandon the violence and embrace peace. Moreover, Lieutenant Gonzalez praised the troops of the 6th Mechanized Infantry Battalion for their role in facilitating the surrender, highlighting the military's commitment and providing opportunities for former extremists to reintegrate into society through government peace initiatives. This is Beta Niete reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a strong Philippines.
Thank you, Bet.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is planning to extend the EDSA bus carousel route in order to ease traffic congestion in Metro Manila. This came after first ever traffic town hall summit, wherein the long-standing problem of the country in terms of traffic was discussed. The chief executive stressed that problem of heavy traffic cannot be solved without a better transit system in the country. Aside from the said proposal, President Marcos also aimed at renovation of stations and constructions of bridges in Pasig River.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Environment and Natural Resources encouraged everyone to participate in the government's efforts to reduce plastic waste in the country. DNR Secretary Maria Antonia Yulo Loizaga made the call during the launch of the Earth Day Everyday project in Pasay City recently. According to DNR, the Philippines produces about 2.7 million tons of plastic waste every year, where a large amount of it ends up in landfills, dump sites, rivers, and water supply systems. In response to this, Loizaga underscored the transformation towards a plastic-free world begins at home, while experts and universities must also do their part.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
Let us receive another news from the ground. Let us hear from Jimboy regarding the DSWD and Zambusur government extend assistance to former rebels and students.
Department of Social Welfare and Development and the Zamboanga del Sur Provincial Government extended assistance to former rebel and student in Pagadian City. According to report, cash aid and educational assistance were provided to individual under the DSWD Assistance to Individual in Crisis Situation Program. 163 former rebel received 5,000 each, while 2,500 students were granted 6,000 each in educational aid. This initiative not only aimed to support the reintegration of former rebel into society, but also to ensure that the students have access to educational resources, promoting inclusivity and sustainable peace. This is Jimboy reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jimboy. For other national news, the Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, praised the Filipino community for its contribution in the development of their country. He extended his message during the bilateral meeting with President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. at Malacanang yesterday. It can be noted that Qatar is a second home to nearly 243,000 Filipinos, wherein the remittances to the Philippines from the said country reached $895.33 million in 2022. Moreover, Sheikh Tamim and President Marcos witnessed the signing of different agreements and memoranda of understanding focused on strengthening the relations between the Philippines and Qatar. In other developments, the Philippine National Police has approved a policy that prohibits visible tattoos on all its personnel and those who are aspiring to join the force. According to PNP spokesperson Police Colonel Jean Fajardo, through the Memorandum Circular 2024-023, uniformed and non-uniformed personnel must have their visible tattoos removed. Fajardo said that cops with existing tattoos are required to file an affidavit declaring it and also not allowed to add more. Relatedly, the PNP also ordered the removal of tattoos that are extremist ethnically or religiously discriminatory and offensive, indecent, racist, sexist, and those considered as prohibited or unauthorized.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
From Solcom, let us hear from Jess about former rebel receives livelihood assistance in Camarines Sur.
In the continued collaboration with the soldiers of the 81st Infantry Spartan Battalion and the local government agencies in Camarines Sur, 10 piglets and 10 sacks of feeds were distributed by the Department of Agriculture to the farmer rebels in Barangay F. Semyon, Ragay, Camarines Sur on April 20 of the current year. This program reflects the unity of the various government agencies in addressing the needs of the citizens, especially farmer rebels, to improve and enhance their livelihoods. Lieutenant Colonel Julio D. Binuhi, commander of the 81st Infantry Battalion, encourages our remaining brothers and sisters in the mountains to come down and embrace true peace because our government is always open and ready to help them to start anew with their families. This is Jess from Solcom reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jess from Solcom.
DWDD National News.
The Bureau of Immigration has saved 4 Filipinas who were trafficked to work as waitresses in China. According to the report of BI Commissioner Norman Tansinko, the said women whose identities were concealed were intercepted at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport Terminal 1 in Parañaque City after presenting themselves as tourists bound for Hong Kong on April 21. The victims revealed that they were lured into the scheme by a Taiwanese woman whom they met in WeChat and promised them high incomes jobs in the country. Authorities found out that they were instructed to pose as tourists and were supposed to receive their visas for China upon arrival in Hong Kong, where they would then proceed to work illegally.
DWDD National News.
Now on to our next story. The Technical Education and Skills Development Authority successfully opened a scholarship program in Pasay and Makati City. Just recently, the agency has made public the list of courses that the program offers. According to TESDA, the initiative aims to hone the skills of Filipinos to enable them to work in any preferred industry. Through the said program, the government offers free trainings in various fields.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
We have a report coming in with more details about NOCOM enhances maritime security with site survey and Harris radio installations. Let us hear the update from Spencer. Go on for the details.
Indeed, Rofh, the Northern Luzon Command Armed Forces of the Philippines enhanced the maritime security with site survey and Harris radio installations at key island outposts from April 21 to April 23. The said strategic initiative, led by NORCOM Commander Lieutenant General Fernil G. Buca, Philippine Air Force, was conducted at Naval Detachment Mabulis, Fuga, and Calayan Islands. It aims to bolster operational readiness and communication capabilities across Batanes Province. Moreover, with a focus on safeguarding national interests and promoting regional stability, NOLCOM remains steadfast in its mission to uphold peace, security, and sovereignty in the region. Again, my name is Spencer Ross, reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Spencer Ross.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Information and Communications Technology appealed to Japan's new envoy to the Philippines to support in inviting more Japanese companies to invest in the country's ICT sector. The ICT Secretary Ivan John Uy made the request during the courtesy call of a Japanese ambassador Endo Kazuya at the Sofitel Plaza in Pasay City recently. In the said meeting, the two officials discussed potential collaborations to boost the country's digital infrastructure and enhance digital literacy among Filipinos. Meanwhile, Lando pledged to help in the country's efforts in open radio access network, cybersecurity, digital terrestrial broadcasting, and basic telecommunications access.
DWDD National News.
The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority announced yesterday the 6-month closure of the southbound portion of the Epifanio de los Santos Avenue Camining flyover starting May 1 to make way for its rehabilitation. According to MMD Acting Chair Romando Ortiz, The retrofitting of the flyover aims to strengthen the bridge and as a preventive measure against natural disasters like earthquake. ARTA said the flyover is expected to be fully passable for vehicles on October 25. The MMDA official added that initial steps will begin on April 25 as part of the government's efforts to rehabilitate structures in preparation for the big one.
Armed Forces Radio
On the other line, let us hear from Bea about two Chinese ships spotted near Palawan the day before Balikatan military exercise.
Yes, Rofh, United States maritime security expert Ray Powell revealed the sighting of two Chinese maritime militia vessels 30 nautical miles off the coast of Palawan a day before the Balikatan maritime exercise between the Philippines and the United States commenced yesterday. According to Powell's online account on Sunday, the two large Gyeongsancha-U maritime militia vessels returned towards Mischief Reef after spending 6 hours near Ayungin Shoal. He also stated that he is unaware of the context behind this recent aggression by Chinese ships. Meanwhile, Armed Forces of the Philippines spokesperson Francel Margaret Padilla previously clarified that the exercise is unrelated to any specific action by a country and its main objective is to cultivate collective security and readiness among participating nations. This is Beatrice Amigable reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Bea.
DWDD National.
On the other hand, the government service insurance system encouraged pensioners to utilize the online services for their convenience and safety. This is following the recently issued warning of Pag-asa regarding the unprecedented temperatures reaching up to 46 degrees Celsius in 24 areas across the country. Pensioners were advised to complete their renewal of active status or annual pensioners information revalidation through the GSIS digital platforms, including the GSIS Touch mobile application, which now has facial recognition technology. Through the said app, GSIS beneficiaries were given access to fulfill requirements from the comfort of their homes.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
That's all for today's broadcast. Thank you for joining us, especially to our audience in 1134 kHz AM radio and in AFP Radio DWDD Facebook page. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for more updates, same time and same station. Again, this is Rofh Suzon for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcasters